This guy, man, he until he get on something and want to rap his ass off, man. He was a comedian slash lyricist slash character, but got bars for days, man. And when he was another guy that dropped around that time with Nelly and all them boys, and when he came out with this song called "What's Your Fantasy,"
Mm-hmm.
and I said, "What the hell is this, man?" I said, "Who is this dude?" And he had some southern, he had some classics, man. Throw them bows. The boy had some hits, man. I mean, he had some hits.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about hip hop's lyrical character, Ludacris,
Yeah.
because he gets forgotten about so much.
I don't know why, man. Like, how could you forget about Luda and his legendary run up until the point where he decided to pivot a little bit? But I mean, this is another timestamp thing we talk about. Luda drops, that first Back for the First Time album when I'm in my freshman year in college. That was another thing that was a soundtrack for me during college was Luda's music, right? When
Okay,
he's bursting onto the scene.
okay.
Man, when that Back for the First Time drop and that What's Your Fantasy and Southern Hospitality and that Rabbit and and all those things. And then the thing about it is that yeah, he was animated when it's some of the things he talks about, those bars and things that he says funny, man. But if nothing, you knew Luda could get down because when he needed to come down to the get down, he would drop some of the sickest punchlines, some of the sickest metaphors, comedically at sometimes, but he knew how to be able to weave all that in perfectly to what it was he was trying to portray into word of mouth and that dropping and that being a big with rollout and and those hits on that one move with mystical and everything. um but then you get into the which was probably I would say one of my two favorite Luda albums, Chicken and Beer, right?
Chicken and Beer was good,
You
man.
know, and again, uh, very comedic at times, but Luda always had a way to be able to drop those things, those freestyles. He had those two freestyles on his first two with the beatbox in the background with Four Eyes on it with him, just being comedic, but definitely something like my man has some bars, right? But then getting into Red Light District and then Release Therapy. And I mean, just projects that just well put together projects, man, all in his style and then dropping the Theater of the Mind in 2008, which is probably my other favorite Luda album, which he got busy
Mhm.
on that. And I mean, he had some people on Theater of the Mind, had a track with Nas and Jay-Z,
Yeah, he did.
did a song with Chris Brown, did a song with Sean Garrett. um Another guy, the man had stuff that he did things for the ladies, but then he had tracks where he would sit there and he would get out lyrically. I mean, would definitely do it character wise. I mean, that's what endeared him to a lot of people too, man. He tended not to take himself too seriously at times, right? Luda was who he was. He had a value proposition. Yeah, he was a little bit of a comedian, but man, you want to talk about a feature run that Luda would have? Man, Luda got a feature runs out there that stands up with so many people during that time, and people tend to forget.
Come on, big
Made
dog.
You Look, All I Do Is Win, uh Welcome to My Hood. I could keep running down the list of the different features that Luda has been on. B.I.B.I. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. He killed that shit too.
he had the best verse on there. I mean, he had a way of being able to deliver his content, his rhymes, and when he needed it to hit a certain way, he was able to deliver that shit and let it hit hard. When he wanted to be comedic, he could, and it could make you laugh. When he wanted to say some nasty shit on records about something he wanted to do to a lady, he would make it hit, and it would hit the way it needed to hit. But when it got down to the bars, man, he would deliver them bars, and it would be unlike many people in his generation could. And it's a shame, he's another person has pivoted, gone into acting, has been in Academy Award winning films, has been in films now in this Fast and the Furious series that all of them have grossed well close to hundreds of millions into billions of dollars now. He's been in commercials, he's been a pitch man, he's been in television shows. He has shown his range not just as a rapper and a businessman, but as an entertainer. So in a result of some of that, the music has taken a back seat to a lot of it, man. But money talks when you can do some of these things and not have to worry about music. I mean, hey, what are you going to say? I mean, it's That's what it is. But we cannot forget his contributions, because I saw a list. I forgot who put it out. I don't know whether it was Complex or some other publication. They talked about the 50 best rappers from Atlanta, and they had Luda at number 7. And I thought that was utterly ridiculous.
You gotta be shitting me.
They had Luda at number 7, and I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. Now, there's some recency bias in there, right? People are gonna put other folks ahead of him, which I don't understand how. Because I'm like, you mean to tell me there's at least 4 other rappers on this list you think are better than Ludacris is from Atlanta? Artist? Like,
Okay, outside of 3 Stacks and T.I., who else we talking about
maybe,
lyrically?
okay, you could probably say Big Boy. You could maybe say Big Boy,
Okay,
but that's
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 it.
it.
Who the hell else is 5 and 5? Wait a minute, because
Well, you know who they
five,
had ahead of Luda,
6?
man. You know one of the guys they had ahead of Luda. You already know one of the guys they had ahead of Luda. I don't agree with that at all. I understand some people, and I get it with the boy and why people want to put him ahead of them. For some people, probably, yeah, if you grew up in this century, you probably do have him ahead of Luda, but not for me, and not for people in my generation. For me, I'm like, listen, I have 2, maybe 3 people ahead of him, right? And that's it. If that. Because when it comes down to the come down, 3 Stacks, right? You got an argument, you could probably put him behind him, and that's it. There's an argument to be made. Like, but T.I., you can make the argument. Again, I don't know if you agree with that, because to me, honestly, they came up during the same exact time. And they had the many feud and stuff that they had with each other, and they eventually made up and everything. But I was flabbergasted when they had the 50 best rappers from Atlanta list, and he was at number 7. I was like, I don't understand that. I really don't. And I do think recency bias has a reason of putting that there, but I don't. No way. No way.
No.
Nah.
Now we no. And only
Not
reason
what I know.
Because I agree with you. The only reason I would put him over T.I. is because Luda has some monster features, man.
Yeah.
That boy T.I. didn't have the features T.I. did features, but he not like goddamn, not like made you look.
Luda. Not like nah.
Luda went to New York and gave them boys the business up there. With that shook made you look, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Luda was a feature monster. I think by far, and then I would go with Tip next. But fair enough, because we didn't make the list. We'll have to make our own list next time, man. For part 5. Hey, get ready. Me and Because will have our top 50 MCs of all time ready.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Because I always have love for Luda, man. Hey, but like you said, if somebody offering you $10, $15 million to go do a movie, how you going to, hey, you can't turn that down or whatever he's getting paid. They say that movie money is great. I'm going to find out one day soon. Yeah. And I'll let you know, because I'll be like, because it's pretty good over here, though.
Let me know. Let me know how it is, man. I love to see how that movie money's working, man.
Absolutely. All right, because before we leave the A, man, this gentleman right